connected, hopefully spiritually and as a community. And today I am honored to be teaching alongside my friend Rabbi Stephen Lowenstein. And Rabbi Steve and I have been friends, colleagues since we first met in rabbinical school in Jerusalem in 1990. I think one of my first friends that I connected with there, and then together in Cincinnati for 4 years, ordained together. And in a sense, similar to me, he's really been in the same community his entire career in Temple Shalom in Chicago for his first few years of the rabbinate, 7 years, and the past 19 plus years at Shalom in Glencoe. And what I love about Steve is that I think very much a mission that I have as well as his rabbinate is really all about developing relationships and connecting with people. So welcome, Steve.
Mike, it is so great to be here. I'm a little confused. I thought this was a show to talk about Monday morning quarterback and kind of, Super Bowl ads and all that kind of stuff.
We can do that too.
This is a Monday morning musings with Mike. There's so many M's in there, but to me, the main M word is magic, because wherever you go, there's always some magic. There's always something magical about what you can create. And it is my honor to be here with you, to schmooze with you, and to muse with you. And you are right. You were one of the first people I met in July 1st of 1990, as we started HUC together. I think it was August 15th that Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, and kind of the world changed. But we've been together each and every step along the way. And Mike, I am so proud of you. Congratulations, Dr. Moskowitz. This is our 20. It's hard to believe it's been 26 years. It's supposed to be easy, but I don't know about you, but I feel that this year's kind of the hardest year I've ever had in the rabbinate. But congratulations on becoming an honorary Doctor of Divinity. It was supposed to be a year ago, kind of this month, I think, that we were to be in Cincinnati together to get our honorary doctorates. By the way, I don't know about you, but HUC still hasn't filled out the
They have not. We got an email last week saying, "Oh, we still don't have the diplomas yet for you." For those who are curious, if you survive the rabbinate for 25 years, you get an honorary doctorate, and so it's something that's bestowed upon us, and we get to have sort of a reunion together that obviously didn't happen last spring as was planned, and keeps getting pushed back, sort of like Temple's honoring of my 27th anniversary, which is going to happen next fall now. So, yeah, it is remarkable how quickly these 25 years have gone by. I think for me, I think about all the things that have occurred, but it feels really like I was just starting, right? And I also agree, this past year has been incredibly challenging and exhausting and difficult, but also even uplifting in certain ways too, and getting creative juices flowing differently.
Mike, I got to tell you that I often, it's an hour earlier here in Chicago, but I often wake up on early on a Monday, and the first thing I'll do is I'll log on to Facebook and I'll see your Monday musings, whether you're talking to Asher Lopatin or Dan Nichols, or you're teaching something, and it's just, to me, it's a way to just uplift my week, and to see your smiling face and that very bright head of yours. Every Purim for the last 7 years, I've been able to channel my inner Mike Moskowitz, and I shave my head for St. Baldrick. So we're going to actually do it again in 2 weeks. My wife's very upset. She says that I look like Uncle Fester when I shave my head, but you have always looked so good.
Thank you. If you look at our picture from ordination, when you're bald in your early 20s, you don't change. See, you can age better. So thank you.
You have not changed a bit.
What are you guys doing for Purim this year? How are you making it work?
So we are doing our spiel online. Purim, I don't know about for you, but for me, Purim is like this. The last thing we did was the Purim Carnival.
Yeah.
Kind of that was it. We had and we remember, kind of, oh, should we do it? Should we not do it? Kind of things were just starting. I had a wedding the night before, and that it went off, and literally everything stopped right after our Purim Carnival last year. So kind of, to me, there's almost a pain kind of coming up to this anniversary of it's now been a year, but we're doing a virtual Purim Megillah reading, and then we have three different social action projects that kind of we're sending out to the families to do, and then they're gonna drop them off at the synagogue, Mishloach Manot and some other projects, and they're gonna drop them off at the synagogue, and we're gonna kind of be in the center driveway, and we're gonna be in costume, and we're gonna give out hamantashen and kind of just make it fun. But I made a promise to Rabbi Phyllis's son a couple of years ago before he died that we would have a carnival for his funeral. So every year I shave my head on Purim. So we're going to try it virtually. I've never done it virtually, but we're going to try it 3 weeks from tomorrow, 3 weeks from yesterday.
That's a beautiful promise you made. And that story is really, so difficult and uplifting at the same time, of a child who lost his battle with cancer. His mom, so for those who don't know, his mom is a colleague of Steve's, one of the rabbis at Shalom, rabbi educator, I believe. And so I know you were on that journey in a sense with them too, and continue to raise money for cancer research and helping it. Really tremendous. Can you talk about, you mentioned you're doing a bunch of social action projects with around Purim. You've always done incredible social action work. It's a passion of yours, and I often see things that are going on Facebook, online, and it gives me ideas that I'm like, oh, there goes Steve again. Where does he come up with these things? And sometimes I'm envious because the reward is like, oh, how is Steve cycling with Lance Armstrong right now? Which, oh wait, maybe that's not a positive thing to say these days, but like windows that open up, right? So, but really,
by the way, never, if you ever see me at a silent auction, whatever I'm bidding on, don't bid on it, because my kid's bedroom is filled with Tiger Woods and Lance Armstrong and kind of all of these disgraced athletes, so I guess I'm not a good judge, but thanks. You're doing it too, and to me, for me, I think it's part of our rabbinate. You and I are the last two students to ever write a thesis with Dr. Marcus. I think you were the last because M comes after L, so I think you were his last. Together, you and I were his last two students. And he said, one of the things that he always said is, this is the only job in the world that all you got to really, you get paid to be a mensch, and that's what you got to do. And I kind of took those words to heart, and kind of on the wall of Am Shalom, we're in the oldest building. We're in the oldest building on the North Shore of Chicago. Our building was built as North Shore Congregation Israel in 1927. Right in the height of the stock market collapse, and it was dedicated in 1929. But on the wall since 1929 has been this amazing piece of art that asks, what is it that God requires of us? Only this: do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. And every single day, I see that as we walk into our building. And kind of that's our mission, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with God. And if we can do that, we know that we're doing that. My predecessor was kind of on the forefront of that for the 30 years that he ran, and built Am Shalom. And I'm just trying not to mess it up, and trying so hard to just kind of make Judaism come alive and make social action come alive. So Am Shalom had a history of adopting families, and we 4 years ago, you were kind enough to post the article from the New York Times. 4 years ago, 4 years ago this month actually, we adopted the last family from Syria before the borders closed, before Trump closed the borders. Literally, our family arrived 2 hours before the borders closed, and kind of the world changed. That was 2 weeks after Trump's election, and kind of one of the first executive actions that he signed. And we were at the airport, at 2 o'clock, and kind of by the time the family arrived, and there was a New York Times reporter embedded with them, by the time we got them to their apartment, kind of the borders had already closed, and kind of it just kind of exploded from there. But 4 years later, this family, this family is buying their first house that we're involved in, and we're still tutoring these kids, and we're still involved, and we help them launch a business, and we're helping them with clothes, and we're still helping them with so many different aspects of their life, and they're so much a part of who we are. A couple of months later, we brought the sister and brother-in-law and their 2 kids, so now it's 2 families together, and kind of that's just that's our mission, is to help those around us, and we're trying to in every way we can, whether it's shaving heads or giving out or Hamatashin, or absorbing a Syrian family. Kind of the list is endless. The problems are endless, and it's our mission to kind of stand on the shoulders of giants and do the work.
That was such a powerful photograph at the Times photographer got of you and your wife Julie in the front of the car looking back, and he's sitting with the family as they're getting into your car. And I'll put the full article up there to that photo I put, because I just love that, of the 2 of you, and what that represents, like welcoming someone genuinely in that way too. And I remember hearing about that, and it inspired us at Temple. Your work there, I reached out to the Muslim Unity Center and a group that was helping integrate new Syrian immigrants into our community here. And so we started a relationship there. And so it's something that we're still trying to build upon and do more of, because I think it's really important, especially in a sense, I think, for people to get to know us as Jews and to recognize who we are and what we want in our world too. I love that you mentioned the prophet Micah quote. Daniel chose that for the walls of our sanctuary. So on both sides of the walls, Hebrew on the left side, English on the right side is there too. So like you, I'm reminded of that every day when I walk to the sanctuary. And I think it's,
to me, I think that really is what our mission, as rabbis. To me, it's twofold. One is the quote from the prophets that we wrestle with all the time that says our role is to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comfortable. And I think we have that tension all the time as well. West Bloomfield, Glencoe, kind of, dealing with the congregations that we deal with. There's an ability for comfort and kind of stirring the pot a little, which is necessary. But I don't know about what you're seeing right now, but kind of comforting the afflicted is just, in 26 years of the rabbinate, has never been as important, and B, as prevalent as what we're doing now. The amount of funerals, the number of people that are sick, the number of people that are just struggling right now, is somewhat overwhelming. I know that you and I have talked about that personally. It's a tough world out there. Not forget the fact that it's -8 degrees and we're headed to, we're headed to funerals, but it's just it's hard right now, and kind of that it weighs heavily on us. So kind of that the Micah words, kind of ring true now more than ever before.
Yeah, it is. It is difficult. I was Rabbi Schwartz and I were talking, Daniel and I, the other day, and the reality that we go to the
Don't
hospital.
You have like five? Don't you have 5 Rabbi Schwartzes in your congregation?
We've limited it to 2.
Oh, that's
it's
good.
a firm of Schwartz, Moskowitz, and Schwartz. So but the reality of us going to the hospital every week, multiple times a week, and we haven't been in a hospital since March. Right, and how strange that is for us, and what that represents, So tell me, as we wrap this up, what's the been the silver lining for you? I know it's difficult, and that resonates for all of us, and the challenge.
Monday Musings with Mike. That's definitely the silver lining. I get to hear you and see you every week. What more can I ask for? But
Thank you.
I seriously though, I think that it is really appreciating the people that I work with, the people that kind of we're all struggling together, and we're helping each other. I think that that's really big. By far, my family is the greatest silver lining. Kind of as like we were working 24/7, and we're still working really hard, but I'm having dinner with my wife more than I've ever had in our 30 plus years of marriage. I'm having snowshoes and opportunities to work out together, and to spend time together, and to watch a TV show or a movie, or listen to Barack Obama's book together, kind of chapter by chapter. Oh my God, I mean, that's just precious time that in our first 25 years as a rabbi, we never got. Kind of, it was always about other people, and it still is about other people, but we certainly have time to cultivate those relationships, and spend time with my kids, and to talk to my kids, and those are the silver linings for sure.
Yeah, makes sense. I appreciate that too. Definitely a blessing. We all should take that and relish that as well. Or read one of Steve's 2 books, For the Love of Being Jewish. An author himself. 2 books he has. Wait, I have them right here. Where is it?
Oh, you did your research. I don't think I have them nearby.
They're great books. They're good. They're
I have
fun
one
to
coming.
read.
For the love of Israel,
Right.
which I know that Shalom loves Israel, and Rabbi Mike loves Israel. We met in Israel and fell in love in Israel. So I'm happy to share Israel and Mike's love for Israel, and I know how much he loves taking students there and adults there, and I hope that you guys keep doing that. And
Definitely. Yeah. Trips have been delayed. It was fun. Steve and I connected. This is a great Steve story. It was summer of 2018 when Maccabi was in Israel, when I was on one of the teen trips, leading one of the teen trips. No, it's summer of 2019, maybe it was. And Steve had promised a congregant, if they competed in Israel, in the Maccabi, that he would go watch, and he was balancing between like 5 congregants who were competing in Israel in the international Maccabi games, and because he was seeing a tennis match, seeing a swim meet, seeing a soccer, seeing everything, and somehow we were able to meet up at Steak Chatzot and make sure we had our good lunch in the midst of it too.
That was a great those carefree days of traveling anywhere we wanted, and doing any renting a car and just driving around from event to event. That was
but I love that it's about, for me, again, it's about the relationships that you've developed over the years, and the commitment you make to people, and that's an inspiration for me, and something that I really always want to have in my rabbinate. That you said to these families, listen, Israel is important. Go compete, go be a part of this. I will go personally and support you and watch you and cheer you on. I thought it was so cool. So Yasha Koach on that one too.
Well, I know that you're trying hard to get families there. I have a wall in my office of pictures of students that have read Torah in Israel, and kind of we're over 100 kids from the congregation that have gone to Israel and read Torah, whether it's on the rooftop of HUC, or at the Goldman Promenade, or at the Western Wall egalitarian section. Wherever we can find in Israel, whether it's up north in Tzfat on a rooftop, finding cool places and reading Torah. Nice. And I can't wait to be able to get back to Israel and do stuff like that.
Same. We've had 3 trips that have been postponed, and God willing, they're all going to be going in the near future, and looking forward to that as well.
December 21, we're going back in December, hopefully.
Okay, let's try.
I'll see you there.
You know what? Game on.
Okay,
you've heard it.
I'll buy the first round of drinks.
You heard it. Okay.
Of Coca-Cola.
Excellent. I look forward to that.
Okay.
So, Steve, time goes quickly. Like I said, we've been together for a little bit now.
By the way, what'd you think of the game? What'd you think of the game, Mike?
Snooze fest. It was rough, right? We tuned off after. Well, we had to watch halftime, right? Had to see what was going to happen there.
Did you like it?
No, it was strange, but whatever.
It was definitely a strange halftime show. And what was your favorite commercial?
One I saw it after the fact was the Bruce Springsteen Jeep commercial that I really appreciate. I didn't see it until afterwards,
I loved it, but I already see that people are kind of taking Jeep to task for it, for not being, for being too Christian. I loved it. I thought it was
beautiful.
I thought it
I
was
also the Toyota commercial was beautiful as well, with the Paralympic swimmer from Siberia.
Oh, that was amazing. That was
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, that was good too.
And the
So
Will Ferrell commercial was funny too.
yes, that was too. Norway.
So Mike, you are always going, you're always going long. You're always making things happen for people. So keep doing what you're doing. And
Likewise,
I am
right back at you.
I'm so proud. I remember throwing the football at HUC. Didn't we have a football league? Wasn't there a football league at
softball?
softball.
We played at Gone Soccer. We played some too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well. Anyway, thank you, Steve. Hey, keep doing the good.
Going long. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep smiling.
Thank you.
Keep bringing joy to people.
Thank you, my friend. Same for you. Appreciate your time this morning, and stay strong, stay safe.
Okay, and stay warm too, and stay positive and test negative.